Jackie Rosen, President of the Student Government at the College of Southern Nevada, and this is my President's Report. Recently, the College of Southern Nevada sent us to go to Washington, D.C. for a Community College Legislative Summit, so I believe that this President's Report deserved a little bit more detail than a common President's Report. So that is why I will be going over what happened on the trip to Washington, D.C. For the days February 7th through February 11th, the College of Southern Nevada and the Nevada System of Higher Education sent a delegation of 13 representatives to the 2022 Community College National Legislative Summit hosted in Washington, D.C. The purpose of this summit was to advocate for the students in the Nevada System of Higher Education, as well as all community college students in the entire nation. A list of legislative priorities was prepared for us to advocate from. This list will from now on be referred to as the Green Sheet. The Green Sheet consisted of legislative priorities concerning community colleges that were seeking approval in the United States Senate. Priorities such as, but not limited to, funding a community college-led program that links training to jobs, supporting student access and success by boosting the Pell Grant Maximum Award substantially, investing in basic needs support for students. The complete Green Sheet is attached to this report. My goal as the president was to advocate for my classmates concerning all these priorities, including one not listed on the Green Sheet. I am a strong advocate for safe, reliable, and cheap transportation for students. The College of Southern Nevada has made progress on the contract with Lyft, which would provide a discount to students, and I will divulge the details of the status of that contract in a separate report. The biggest priority I set my focus on to advocate for was for free community college. Unfortunately, upon arrival to the conference, the news had been released in an article that this priority would in fact not be a part of the Joe Biden Build Back Better Act. Regardless, the overall objective of the trip was accomplished. We advocated on behalf of not only the students at the College of Southern Nevada, but all community colleges across the nation. February 6th, ASCSN President Jonigan, Henderson Senator Machado, and advisor Brian Akins attended the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. It is there that we were educated on the vast and extensive history and contribution of Black and African Americans in the United States. The exhibit is extensive and provided to the public free of charge. However, a reservation is required to attend the exhibit. The rest of the day was used to prepare for the Legislative Summit, which would be taking place the next day. February 7th was the first day our delegation began attending the conference. We began in a ballroom that was packed with community college leadership on the administrative and on the student level. Community college presidents and trustees and student trustees. Student trustees are among the most critical yet underused resources on a community college campus. Although student trustees' role vary from college to college, the primary role of all student trustees is to bring the perspectives of students into the boardroom. The majority of those in attendance were on the professional trustee level. My estimate is approximately 550 people total were in attendance. Each person in attendance represented many students. Everyone was there for the same purpose of advocating for the legislative priorities on the Green Sheet. To begin the summit, attendees were briefed on the state of higher education enrollments by James Cooksey. It is there where we learned that the COVID-19 pandemic has led to severe drops in enrollments in higher education. Community colleges have suffered the brunt of these enrollment drops. Though enrollment in community colleges has been steadily declining, the pandemic exacerbated the situation. What the current numbers and trends tell us can help inform our advocacy efforts when it comes to federal policymaking. A roundtable for community college lawyers took place to update us on legal developments in higher education employment law, Title IX enforcement, sexual harassment and sexual discrimination concerns, ADA developments applicable to higher education, and higher education litigation review. This session was geared toward lawyers who were representing community colleges. Community colleges, like any other organization, need a legal team full of educated lawyers to advise them on any legal matters and to handle any ongoing litigation. From there, we broke out into different sessions that ran concurrently. While in the general session, I networked with a group containing a trustee and 2 student trustees. They invited me to attend the Student Trustee Advisory Committee meeting. It is there that I learned about this committee, which functions similar to the Nevada Student Alliance, which I am already a part of, being the student body president. However, there was one major difference. This committee is set up on a national level. The committee advises and informs the board of issues and perspectives important to student trustees, student government leaders, and student organizations related to board discussions and deliberations on policy matters. I also attended the African American Caucus of the Association of Community College Trustees, or just abbreviated AACCTA, or just shortened to the African American Caucus. The mission of the caucus is to provide trustees with the support, training, and cultural awareness to achieve greater success in the recruitment, retention, and graduation of African American students, faculty, staff, administrators, and trustees of community colleges. The caucus provided a survey to bring back, which is listed below in this report. Tuesday was the day of the interviews, which was where our delegation's primary objective was to be accomplished. We were first transported in a convoy of several SUVs, where we were then received by Advanced Spoyak Associates Incorporated, a consulting firm that set up the meetings for us. They allowed us to use their conference headquarters to serve as our meeting space. We met with 3 members of Congress. We advocated on behalf of the students, assuring that the items on the green sheet were top priority for the members of Congress. We also advocated for other priorities we believed to be necessary for the success of the students in the Nevada system of higher education. All 3 members received our advocation requests very well. Congressman Amodei, Congressman Horsford, and Congresswoman Dina Titus. We also met with representatives from the Department of Labor. This proved to be beneficial. They provided us with a list of grants that were specific for community colleges, many of which our institutions were unaware of existed. One such grant is the Apprenticeships in IT and Advanced Manufacturing. As you know, apprenticeships serve as the pipeline for job placement upon completing higher education. And furthermore, and more specifically, the City of Henderson recently partnered with the College of Southern Nevada to open an advanced manufacturing center of excellence. This grant could possibly add to the effectiveness of this investment into the community. If our students at the new center have access to apprenticeships specific to their program of study, the impact and legacy of the College of Southern Nevada on our community would continue to live on. We left promptly after the meetings. In the same convoy, we were transported to the Hart Senate office buildings. And this is where our final meetings would take place. We first met with Senator Jackie Rosen, Senator Rosen was receptive to 2 of our delegates' application requests. However, Senator Rosen had to leave in order to vote on an active piece of legislation. Senator Masto was too receptive to our advocacy efforts. She expressed that she was well aware of these green sheet priorities already. The senator's attention was sparked when Truckee Meadows Community College student body president Darian Richards informed her of textbook prices being too pricey for students due to access code requirements. Senator Masto promised to follow up on that student need. She also expressed interest in another student need that was brought to her attention by Student Senator Yvette Machado. Many students are unable to receive FAFSA due to being homeless and not having a P.O. box address. A suggested course of action was to implement a P.O. box system within community college institutions. This would allow them to receive financial aid.
Supports things like that. And to that note, the student body president of the College of Southern Nevada would like to ask you for your support in student access and success. My classmates need the Pell Grant to be maximized substantially. Not only that, but my classmates need an inflationary increase to the maximum award. This would lead to an eventual doubling of the grant. And we also need you to strengthen under-resourced institutions such as ours. The College of Southern Nevada is classified as a minority-serving institution and Hispanic-serving institution. And we serve our populations, our underrepresented populations.
And so, our meeting is concluded. This trip proved to be beneficial for more reasons than can be listed in a report. Community college students were advocated for, and professional higher education connections were made. And for your convenience, I have attached the green sheet, which is the list of all of the legislative priorities that we went to Washington, D.C. to advocate for. And this concludes my report. Thank you for listening.